Alrighty. My microphone stand broke. It doesn't even matter. Who cares? It looks like the left has completely lost their mind. The people on the left are just going insane. They're getting violent and they're throwing ridiculous public tantrums. So let's watch this lady professor, and let's see what wise words she has to impart to the future generations of America.
Sorry. Holy shit, people getting arrested?
This bullshit! Why are you here? You're not here to protect these students from Nazis? No, you're not! This is completely fucked up! And these students had to fucking face them on your own! You should be ashamed of yourselves! You should be standing up to those Nazis! You should be protecting these students from hate! This is hate! These are fucking assholes! And this is a joke! You're protecting the Nazis! It's a fucking joke! You are a joke! You're grown boys! You're grown boys! And even the black ones! You're a fucking brown boy too, you motherfucker! You're not protecting the NYU students here! And I'm disgusted! I'm a professor! How dare you! How dare you fucking assholes protect neo-Nazis! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! These are kids who are trying to learn about humanity! They're trying to learn about human rights and against racism and xenophobia and LGBTQ rights, and you're letting these fucking neo-Nazis near here! You should kick their ass! You should! You should be ashamed of yourselves! You should! Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit! It's not up to these students to kick the ass of a neo-Nazi! They don't have to raise their fist! They were taught to be peaceful! Fuck you! Fuck you!
It's coming from a professor.
I'm a professor!
She's a professor!
Hear it!
Hey guys, she's a professor!
And you're here to protect neo-Nazis! So fuck you! God fucking damn it! Those kids should not have to take fists up to neo-Nazis, and you're putting them in that situation! Go to hell! Fuck you, NYPD! Woo!
I like you guys.
Alright, so clearly this lady's crazy. I wanted to play that uninterrupted just so you could get the full experience. So let's go over a few of the things that she said. At the beginning there, your proud boys, even the black cop. So that right there, she's essentially calling him an Uncle Tom, you know, and that's pretty racist of her. But the whole Proud Boys thing, I think that's like a KKK, charge, where she's saying, "Oh, you guys are proud, good old boys, right?" Like, I think it's one of those types of things. Like, she's calling them KKK, even though they're just the cops. So, all right, that's ridiculous. And then these kids are just trying to learn about humanity and humanitarianism and human rights. Really? I thought they were there for, their various majors and their degrees, their business and marketing and, biology and music degrees and all those things. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, there's some people there for psychology, sociology, that type of thing, but not every single person is just there to learn about that, lady. I don't know what you're going on about or getting at. This person's just crazy. So, all right. Yeah, and those they're generally general education credits that you're forced to take, and they're kind of worthless. I didn't really gain anything of value from my humanities courses because I already knew, all the things that were taught in those courses, like how to be a good person. It's pretty easy. So, yeah. The other thing that she's doing by bringing up the whole, they're just here to learn about, being humanitarian, She's building a victim complex, and she's trying to play the victim, like, oh, these kids are just innocent, sweet little angels, and these devils are here trying to corrupt their minds and poison them with their, hate speech. And it's like, no, that's not even what's happening here. But those are the dichotomies set in their mind, because that's how extreme they are, and that's where their worldviews are at this point in time. But yeah, I'd say that a lot of these humanity courses are worthless money-stealing courses for ethically undeveloped rubes, and that dumb professor is a jerk for using it as a victim narrative. So let's analyze more of the things she said. You should kick their ass for not having. You should kick their asses. She says, "Oh, you should kick their asses for what? For not having broken any laws? For having registered to speak at an event?" And this is the thing. This was for Gavin McInnes. He's a Canadian dude. He's a white man. And that's it. He has like an online radio podcast show. Works for a media outlet. It's like, wow, you think he's a Nazi? He's not a Nazi. He's not a neo-Nazi. He's not a white supremacist. But that's what these people do. They just, ascribe false labels to people so that they can justify vilifying them and attacking them physically now. That's what it's bridged, over into. It's gone from just vehemently, slandering your opposition to now physically attacking people. It's getting dangerous. These people are out of their minds, and they're actually dangerous at this point in time. So let's analyze more of the things she said. These kids don't have to raise their fists. They were taught to be peaceful. How are they being taught to be peaceful when you're standing there and you're screaming and you're ranting at the top of your lungs and like cursing up a storm? Not that I'm personally offended by the language, but people that you're using what people consider offensive language, and you're just being just very vicious in your speech. So I don't know how they're being taught to be peaceful when you're out there and you're screaming like blue in the face, like you're foaming at the mouth. That's not very peaceful to me. So right. And then, to further draw a conclusion from her statements, like, well, do you think that the police are obligated to engage in violence against other people on the behalf of, the quote, the kids? Because I don't think that they do. I think that they only have an obligation, according to the law, to, serve and protect where people, need that service and protection. Like a person being robbed right in front of a cop, it's like, all right, dude, do your job and help that person, right? So... but I don't think that they have any obligation to beat people up that you don't like. That's not how it works. So let's go to the next thing she said. These kids should not have to punch neo-Nazis in the face. Alright, first off, they're not kids. These are college students. They're 18 and above, so they're not kids. So stop calling them kids. And furthermore, the people that you're labeling as neo-Nazis and stuff, they're not neo-Nazis. They're your fellow American citizens. They have different opinions than you do, so you're labeling them so that you can try to justify in your mind vilifying and attacking them, which is horrible. You people are horrible, you people are awful, and you're dangerous, and you need to be stopped. And it's not good that, you guys keep on doing this nonsense. I'm clearly talking to the left right now. People that are engaging in this kind of stuff, if they're even listening, probably not. They don't really like to listen to reason or logic. But, it's a shame that it doesn't keep stopping. But the more it persists, the more people are driven over to the, correct side of things, the more people can see that, yeah, these people are just... entitled and demanding, and when they don't get their way, they get violent. They're like little children. They throw this lady's like a child. She threw a tantrum. It's ridiculous. So let's go over some more of the things that were said. You're putting them in that situation. You're putting them in that situation. This is, when she's like, oh, they shouldn't have to, punch Nazis, but you're putting them in that situation. No, the police aren't putting them in any situation. The students have elected to go to a speech voluntarily, and they have willfully or willingly put themselves in that situation, which is just a lecture at a lecture hall, a thing that is a normal thing that people do every day all across the planet when trying to learn, when trying to listen. So, once again, this is what happens when people allow themselves to become inculcated with toxic worldviews that are so extreme that they honestly think that people are, holding Nazi rallies. And that, they have to use violence against these Nazis, otherwise their opinions and ideas are going to be so formidable that they won't be able to be stopped. So we have to punch them in the face and stop them now before it's too late. No. How about your ideas, people on the left, are trash, and that's why everyone rejects them. Your violence is deplorable. We're not the deplorable ones, turns out. Oh, gee, what a shocker. You guys are, so... these things... It's insane that society is this way. You would think that people would be more intelligent than this, with the ability to gain access to information so easily. But, these people don't even know what Nazis are. And here's an example of how they don't know what Nazis are. So, Nazis were socialists, but people say, oh, they weren't socialists, they were fascists. Okay, yeah, they were fascists, but they were also socialists. And here's the one direct example that proves that definitively. The Volkswagen, or as we say it, the VW. That's an example of how the needs of the state are being put before the needs of the people. Because if the needs of the people were being put first, people would be left their money to choose to buy whatever car they want to from whatever company they want to. But when the needs of the state are put first, the state takes all the people's money to produce one car for all the people, a one size fits all, even though it's not one size fits all. If you need more, space to tow things with, then, you might be out of luck with just that one size fits all, because, like I said, yeah, it's not really one size fits all. That's like a misnomer. So, the VW, the Volkswagen, that is a perfect example of socialism. The state manufacturing a car for the people, putting the state's need first rather than the people's need first. So, and controlling the means of production when the state is producing the car for the people and people have no choice. That's the state controlling the means of production. That's socialism. So people that don't believe that the Nazis were socialist are retarded, especially for the fact that they're literally the NSDAP, the National Socialist Deutsches Arbeiters Party, which is the National Socialist German Workers Party. So, how were American capitalists Nazis? I don't understand. Oh, wait, no, I do understand. They're not. So, yeah, these people are incredibly dense and willfully ignorant. That's what it has to be at this point. I don't know how else these people could be so egregiously incorrect with factual information that's very easy to ascertain. So, let's do one more statement or something. The people that are making a dangerous situation are the insane people going on foaming at the mouth rants, yelling at the police about allowing imaginary Nazis to infiltrate their campus. Those are the dangerous people. All these leftists, liberals, people that call themselves liberals, there's the whole thing that they're not really classical liberals. They've, changed the definition, as they've changed the definition of so many other words, such as racism, where now they have people going around thinking, oh, I can't be racist because I don't have the institutional power, or because I'm, this color, or blah, 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 whatever dumb, insane, inane, asinine reason they're using to say, oh, I can't be racist. No, that's not true. Anybody can be racist because it's just being prejudiced against a person based on racial characteristics that they have no control over. Like, oh, you have white skin, all white-skinned people are awful, all black-skinned people are awful, all, the Chinese people are awful. Like, that's racism, and anyone can do that. So these people thinking that, well, I can't be racist. How insane do you have to be? But maybe they were taught by this professor. Maybe they were taught by a lunatic like this. And that's what's been happening for quite some time now with this college system. When I went to college, they tried to indoctrinate me with the LGBTQ garbage. And that was in a Writing and Rhetoric 2 course. We were supposed to be learning about writing and rhetoric, but the fat lesbian teacher would just play LGBTQ videos. And the one redeeming thing about that is that the one subject of the series, which was a Jewish girl, realized at the end of the series that she was just confused. She's not a boy, and that she actually is a beautiful girl like she knows she is, and everyone else was telling her. So she didn't get taken over by the mental illness of gender dysmorphia. So, yeah. To standpoint, this professor at NYU here is insane. Gavin McInnes is not a neo-Nazi, not a white supremacist, not a white nationalist. He won't even say the 14 words, which is some like neo-Nazi white race security for the white race type of phrase. Like, basically, like I would not be ashamed to fight for the security of proud white race or some crap like that. Which, who cares? If you want to, do that for whatever your race is, like, whatever. A black person wants to marry another black person to make a strong black baby. All right, go for it. I don't care. Two Chinese people want to get together and, rub their chopsticks together so they can have a super, China baby. Have at it, man. I don't care. So, yeah, this lady is insane. This rant was ridiculous. And there are not Nazis hiding under your beds, people. Wake up to reality. So yeah, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for tuning in. As always, like, share, subscribe. Do it. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna say it one more time. Like, share, subscribe. And keep it classy. Take it easy, keep it breezy, Parcheesy. I will check you all in the next video. This professor at NYU here is insane.
Of course, people like Condi Rice and Christine Lagarde are pressured from speaking at commencements.
That's right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It's not new. I mean, I just spoke with Michelle Malkin on my show yesterday on WMAL in D.C., and she said, yeah, they did this when I had my book at Berkeley 10 years ago. They didn't have bonfires and riots and this kind of thing, but this is a real danger for the left and for Democrats. If Democrats were smart, if Cory Booker were smart, he would ask Rachel Maddow to join him with Milo Yiannopoulos, with Ben Shapiro, and escort them onto a college campus and say, no, this is not what we do in America. If we disagree, we listen, and then we argue with our points. This is ridiculous. And Democrats, by their silence, the left, by their silence, they're getting locked in with this. To the American people's eyes, to citizens across this country, they see opposition to Trump and opposition of conservative values as violent thugs. That's not a good thing.
Well, and
this professor at NYU here is insane.
Well, it is open and obvious to those of us who care to pay attention. I think you are hiding behind what appear to be journalistic standards when, in fact, they're political imperatives.
This is hate! These are fucking assholes! This is hate! These are fucking assholes! With the cross of Jesus, as it was before, onward then creationists, let's burn all the books. Reading does not help you with your good old-fashioned look.
Like, share, subscribe. 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 Like, share, subscribe.